Today we are learning how to multiply by multiples of 10. Let's say you wanted to figure out what 50 times 30 equals. Well, you could start by taking 50 and splitting it up into 5 times 10. Then you could do the same with 30, splitting it up into 3 times 10. Now to solve this, you can start by multiplying 5 times 3, because 5 times 3 will give you 15. Next, you can multiply 10 times 10, because 10 times 10 gives you 100. Now you just need to solve 15 times 100. To do this, take the 15 and put it in your answer. And then because 100 has 2 zeros, you need to add 2 zeros to your answer. 15 times 100 is 1,500. But now there's an easier way to do this whole problem. If you want to multiply 50 times 30, you could just start by ignoring the zeros. Multiply 5 times 3. If you do that, you get 15. Then you can count that you have 2 zeros on the left side, and so you need to add 2 zeros to your answer. This again gets you to 1,500. In fact, whenever you're multiplying numbers like this, let's say you're multiplying 80 times 300, you can figure out what it equals by first ignoring the zeros. Here we see that 8 times 3 gives us 24, and then we have 3 zeros, so we have to add 3 zeros to our answer. 80 times 300 is 24,000. Let's do some of these together. Let's solve for 40 times 200. Well, to start, we can just multiply 4 times 2. What does this equal? 4 times 2 is 8. And then how many zeros are on the left side of the equal sign? Well, you can see the 1 zero in 40 and the 2 zeros in 200. So there's a total of 3 zeros. So we'll add 3 zeros to our answer, getting 8,000. Next, let's solve 500 times 700. Well, we can start by multiplying 5 times 7. What does that equal? 5 times 7 is 35. And then how many zeros do I need to add to my answer? Well, you can see there are 2 zeros in 500 and 2 zeros in 700. That's a total of 4 zeros. So you need to add 4 zeros to your answer. Here's one more problem. Let's look at 200 times 50. Well, we can start by multiplying 2 times 5. What does that equal? 2 times 5 is 10. And then how many zeros should I add? Well, I see the 2 zeros in 200 and the 1 zero in 50, so I'll need to add 3 zeros. Now notice that that doesn't count the 0 already in 10. I add 3 additional zeros to my answer. Now it's time for you to practice on your own. Solve 60 times 30. Well, 6 times 3 is 18, and then there's 1 zero in 60 and 1 zero in 30, a total of 2 zeros. You add both of those to your answer. 1,800. Solve for 300 times 700. Well, 3 times 7 is 21, and then there's 4 zeros on the left, so you add 4 zeros to your answer. Solve for 3,000 times 40. Well, 3 times 4 gives you 12, and then we see 3 zeros and 1 more is 4 zeros, so we need to add 4 zeros to our answer. Let's look at some more. Solve for 600 times 600. Well, 6 times 6 is 36, and then we see 4 zeros, so we add 4 zeros to our answer. Solve for 40 times 600. Well, 4 times 6 is 24, and then we see 1 and 2 more, so 3 zeros. We add 3 zeros to our answer. Here's your last one now. Solve 900 times 50. Well, 9 times 5 gives you 45. And then you can see there are 2 zeros and 1 more, a total of 3 zeros that we need to add to our answer. So from today, remember, ignore the zeros and multiply the other numbers to start. Then you can just count up how many zeros are on the left side and add them to your answer.